Coming to the stage next, we have another very funny gentleman. Give it up for Mr. Chris Wren.
Friends, everybody. How's it going? I'm ready for this fucking month to be over. I hate April. It sucks. The weather sucks. It's cold again. What the fuck? But that was over. Literally, March and April, I find them to be the biggest prick teases you'll ever meet, you know? They're like, oh no, I killed it. Live! I'm not! Oh, good. Resuscitation. Don't touch it again, dumbass. No, I think they're the two biggest prick teases you'll ever meet. They're like, you know, March comes and April comes, they're like, oh hey, remember what 70 degrees feels like? Hey, you like that, don't you? Yeah, it's nice not having to come out with a jacket, right? Yeah. Then go fuck yourself! Hate them. But it will get warmer. You know, May's coming along in the summer. We'll see all those wonderful travel commercials, you know, to go to exotic places like Mississippi and Idaho, yeah. And they have a lot of travel commercials to go to Mexico. You know, they have that new slogan, you know, come to Mexico, discover what you thought you knew. You know, and they have like subcategories that are like, you know, like Mexico, you know, like, they're like a cave that can hold the Statue of Liberty, Mexico. You know, or a church on the top of a hill, Mexico. But that's not really what I think about when I think of Mexico. You know, what comes to my mind when I think of Mexico is, you know, a blonde American girl being abducted and used as a drug mule, Mexico. Yeah, I like that announcer voice that you hear on TV, you know, hi, I'm gonna sell you shit you don't need, all right. It reminds me of what I like to call the Gucci trains on the subway. You know what I'm talking about, you know, the 4, 5, and 6, the 2 and the E, that 1, 3 train that goes to East Harlem that's not as ghetto as the rest, you know? But you know that voice, the stand clear of the closing doors, please. And it pisses me off, they always have the woman's voice come on to tell you the nice shit. Like, you know, like she comes on, she's like, this stop is Happy Land. Next stop is Land of Glitter. The man's voice comes on, get the fuck out of the way. If you hold those doors open one more time, I'll rip your fucking arms off. But you gotta think, like, that's a real guy's voice. Like, obviously they used a computer to, like, form the sentences, but they sampled somebody's real voice. So obviously this guy's like a vocal talent or vocal actor or whatever. But like, when he goes into auditions, does he tell people that? Does he like come in and like, hello, my name is Stephen Jenkins, and I'm the voice of the MTA. Or like when he picks his daughter up from school, you know, Sally, be careful of the closing door. Next stop, your bitch-ass horrible mom's house. Speaking of bitch-ass whores, I'm newly single, 3 months now, going from the breakup. Thank you. Get me outside. But of course, being single, I've delved into the horrible depression of online dating. I checked it out. I'm not actually online. Don't look me up. I'm not there. I just checked it out, you know, and I saw things, you know, like J-Date and, you know, Christian Mingle, you know, OkCupid, or as I like to call it, I don't give a fuck what your name is, let's just go have sex. But then I came across this one site called blackpeoplemeet.com. Like, literally, there is no getting around that site. It's not like blackandwhitepeoplemeet.com or, you know, blackandhispanic.peoplemeet.com. It's black motherfucking only people. We don't want no jungle fever motherfucking crackers on this site. Get the fuck off.com. But it got me thinking, like, was there ever something like that for white people? Turned out there was. It was called a lynch mob. I'm like, seriously, we can never do that. We can never have a whitepeoplemeet.com. Like, that'd be the most racist shit ever. Like, what would be the slogans? Like, you know, whitepeoplemeet.com, start a rally. Or like, whitepeoplemeet.com, because as the saying goes, once you're white, you're always right. Speaking of black people, that's not as funny, okay. But anyway, I'm originally from Houston, Texas, and thank you. And contrary to popular belief, being that it's in Texas, it is actually very diverse. And I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood. I was actually a minority as a white person, going to school and all that stuff. So when I moved here to New York, and I moved to, you know, I live in the Washington Heights now, and before then I lived in Harlem. I really didn't have that shock of diversity, you know. And I tell people, oh yeah, I live in Harlem, and you know, you tell your white friends, and like, oh, you live where? you're still alive. Oh. But it's really not that bad. It's really not. West Side of Harlem is really great. The only thing you really have to worry about is Jehovah's Witnesses waking you up at 6 in the morning. They hand you the same fucking pamphlet they gave you last week, but whatever. But really, I had no problems living there, even as a white male, except for one day. I'm walking back to my apartment. I lived on 149th between Amsterdam and Convent. I'm walking back to my apartment with my then girlfriend. And we're holding hands walking down the street. We just came from dinner. And, we're not even talking. We're just enjoying the night air and whatnot. So we're walking down Convent. And we see these two girls on a stoop. And they're sitting there and they're talking. We make zero eye contact, say absolutely nothing while we're walking towards and passing these two girls. But that was enough to make one girl flip her motherfucking shit. As we passed, she proceeded to say these very words. Hold on, I gotta say this. I gotta say this. Hey, why you gotta live here, huh? Why you gotta live here, huh? Where the rest of us supposed to live, huh? Tell me that. Where the rest of us supposed to live, huh? You know what? Why don't you go back to where you came from? Why don't you go back to Ronkonkoma? And I guess I should have gotten mad. I should have turned around and been like, hey, that's racist. This is a progressive neighborhood. But really, the only thing that went through my mind during this whole altercation was, where the fuck is Ronkonkoma? Speaking of black and white people relations, anybody a fan of Dave Matthews Band? Anybody know? Yeah? All right, awesome, great. When Dave Matthews Band first came out, they described the music as college jam band music, which I think is perfect. Because any college student, no matter how drunk, high, or what level of acid trip that they are on, can sing every single word to every single Dave Matthews Band song. I love you. But have you ever read the lyrics to his songs? There's some wordy fucking tunes. He's not singing some haiku up there. He's singing you a fucking novel. So it got me thinking, I really honestly think that, Dave Matthews doesn't have a problem, enunciating, articulating, and speaking the English language. I just think through the course of a concert, he just thinks, fuck it. He's drunk. He's on acid. Direction. Ooh, boobies. Music today, it's all gone fucking downhill. I have to say, Lady Gaga's Poker Face can't be the next Beatles, I Wanna Hold Your Hand. I don't see my kids listen to that on classic rock radio, right? And most of this music put out now, especially by guys, is to fucking get laid. For instance, Maroon 5. Catchy tunes, Maroon 5. They have this one thing, it's I'm not gonna fall in love, no, I'm gonna fall in love, so, whatever. That's not what they're fucking saying. What they're saying is, what he's really saying in that song is, I wanna get some ass, babe, I wanna get some ass, so I'll sing a little more about some bullshit, sing a little more to get some pussy, ooh. Counting Crows were playing tonight. Counting Crows back in the 90s. You remember that? Mr. Jones and me. No, what he was saying was, get my ugly ass laid. That shit got Jennifer Aniston back in her prime, okay? Back before she started fucking everybody just to stay in the tabloids, you know what I'm saying? But you write an acoustic song version of that? Oh, forget about it. Signed, sealed, delivered, she's yours, yeah. I'll leave you with this. I love TV. I watch a lot of it, and I watch obviously a lot of the commercials. That's how I know about travel commercials. That's how I know about exotic places like Mississippi. But you always see these commercials for fast food restaurants, like McDonald's, for instance. And I loved it so much, especially when they came out with the new chicken nuggets. They're come get a 6-piece chicken McNuggets, now made with all white meat. Now made with all white meat. What the fuck was I eating before? Goddamn, no wonder my balls dropped in the 5th grade. I grew facial hair in the 6th. Goddamn, I was juicing up on fucking poultry. I should have played baseball. Man. You guys have been great. I'm Chris Wren. Thanks so much.